This week's lesson is based on We Are the Gardeners, and we are going to draw some potted plants. To start, we're going to start with a big circle, a medium-sized circle, and then a smaller circle to fill the upper part of your paper. Then we're going to add petals on each of our circles. We're starting with the largest circle so that we can overlap those petals in the front. Each set of petals should be like different shape or different way. This set of petals, I'm making semicircles inside to make them look a little different from the plain semicircles on the first flower. And then on the last flower, I'm going to make long petals that come out a lot further and overlap behind the rest of the flowers. Then I'm going to add some details to the inside of the flowers. I mostly use circles, big, large. I use some spirals. Now we're going to make the pot. We're going to make a long rectangle. Then we're going to come down to a small V, connect the sides. I kind of messed up, so I made a little bottom. And then you make a horizon line behind to give it a table to sit on, a stem and a leaf. Now I'm going to add one more flower up in that top corner because I think it looks a little empty. And one more leaf. Now we're going to add some more details with the crayon. I love this drawing because it's kind of combining the styles of artwork that we've done so far. So we started with a black Sharpie to do like a pen and ink drawing, and now we're going to go in with our crayon and add lots of details so that once we paint it, it can be crayon resist. Again, this project can be done with any materials that you have at home. This is just what I'm doing here. I'm combining our last couple of lessons to use those materials all together. I'm just moving around my paper using yellow, use some orange, I use curves, I use circles, I use petal shapes. I do horizontal lines, vertical lines, any kind of patterns that you can think of that would look good inside your flowers. And these can be as simple or as intricate as you would like. And I'm just finishing up this step by making sure that every flower has some color, crayon color added to each part of the petal. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of that crayon to the pot. So I'm adding some wavy lines in orange and brown. You could certainly make your pot super colorful. I'm just going with like a basic pot. And then last but not least, I'm going to make some texture on the bottom so that the bottom has some texture too when we start painting. Now we're going to use the watercolor just like we always do. You got to make sure you get your watercolor with lots of water. And again, I'm using the computer paper so it absorbs it a bit, but once I get going, it works out. And you can paint the areas of the flower the same color that you put down for the crayon, or you can pick a color where the crayon will look really nice against that color. So you'll see for a lot of areas like this flower, I'm doing purple so that pinkish crayon really shows through nicely, but then on the green stems, the green paint is darker so the light green crayon shows through really nicely. So it's your artistic choice as you're moving through your painting what you think will look the best, but you just want to paint your entire picture. Or if you're using something else, you're going to want to color your entire picture. As you're working, remember some of our techniques that we use in class. If we're using watercolor, we need water, water, water. If we're using crayons or markers, we want to fill in all the white spaces, make sure it's waxy to the maxi. This piece of artwork really looks the best when there's tons of rich color that fill the paper. And so I like to make sure, and I say this in every video, but to make sure that I sprinkle a little bit of color all around, right? So if I do blue in one spot, I try to repeat it in another. So this is our finished piece of artwork.
Come back next week. Bye.